Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be discussing economic sanctions. It's a fitting topic for this time period because Russia just invaded Ukraine this past week, and many countries, including the US, imposed sanctions on Russia because of this. So, getting into what economic sanctions are, they're the withdrawal of economic activities from a country in response to specific policies or actions that that country has imposed. So, some examples of economic sanctions include trade embargoes, which are the banning of trading with a specific country. Asset freezes, it's a type of financial sanction, which basically freezes assets such as bank accounts from a country. Tariffs, which are taxes that are actually imposed on a country's companies who basically import from the sanctioned country. And this is to deter these companies from continuing imports with them because they have to pay taxes on those goods that they import. Travel restrictions, so various citizen travel between countries, those are a type of sanction. And there are many others. These are probably the most common ones, but there are others as well. And then a little bit of history from the US perspective of sanctions. So U.S. sanctioned North Korea in 1950, and then Cuba in 58. Syria was a big one in 86, and now Russia in 2022 with a brand new one. And most of the sanctions that the U.S. does impose are because of human rights violations between many different countries. North Korea and Cuba, probably most specifically, especially North Korea. So that's usually the reason the U.S. imposes sanctions, but there are other reasons as well. And then Russia. So just getting a little bit into Russia, the brand new sanction that was imposed this past week. So Russia invaded Ukraine within the last week, and initially they just put some troops around Ukraine and a little bit into Ukraine. But recently, only a few days ago, they fired missiles, killing, I think, over 100 Ukrainians. And that's when a lot of the sanctions ramped up. So it's not just the U.S. imposing sanctions on Russia. It's also other countries. I know Canada is as well, and I think some other European Union countries, or the European Union as a whole, imposed some sanctions on Russia. So many countries are imposing these sanctions to try and deter Russia from continue invading. And if they keep invading more and more, countries are likely to ramp up their sanctions to hopefully lower the economy of Russia, to stop them from producing arms and weapons to continue their war effort into Ukraine. And specifically, the U.S. sanctioned Russia by blocking financial transactions from the largest Russian banks, as well as imposing export restrictions, specifically of technology. So Russia would use this technology to potentially make more weapons, and the U.S. basically stopped that kind of technology exporting to Russia as one of these sanctions, so they aren't able to do so. So yeah, that's some of the sanctions that are currently imposed on Russia. We'll see where it goes. Most likely there will be more and more sanctions piling up if they continue to invade. But yeah, anyways, just wanted to go through what economic sanctions were, and thanks for watching.